Yeah, I mean, I messaged a lot of people the day we bought $250 million of Bitcoin, and like half of the OGs ignored me.
Yeah.
But I'm on Palm's podcast. He says, you have a question for me? And I said, yeah, I noticed Jack Dorsey likes Bitcoin. He tweets about it. He seems to really appreciate the value of it. He runs a publicly traded company, Square. Do you want to join forces with me? Let's go ask Jack if he'll buy some Bitcoin. And Palm goes, that's kind of interesting. And then a few weeks go by, maybe a month go by, and Square announced that they bought Bitcoin.
Yep. I remember.
And that was a game changer. I thought, at the point they did that, I thought, we're good now. We're going to win.
Wait a minute, everyone. We all agree that the crypto market never sleeps, but with countless newsletters out there, how do you choose the best one for you? Bitcoinzilla stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoinzilla today and enjoy the new edge. In today's video, Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategy, discusses why Bitcoin was the only solution for his company to survive. He talks about his experience of being the first public trading company to buy Bitcoin with $250 million and how he became interested in taking crypto seriously. So without wasting any time, let's dive into the video.
So we went on this search and we considered art and real estate and buying the index and buying big tech companies. And there are regulatory considerations that keep you from just buying securities. You can't have more than 40% of your liquid assets in securities if you're a publicly traded company, generally. And so you can't just buy $500 million of SPY. And even if you did, there's then practical consideration, which is if you told all your investors, we just took all this money and invested in the SPY, their response would be, well, there's nothing special about that. That's the most conventional strategy you could pursue. A 12-year-old could do the same. Give us the capital back. So we discovered the idea of gold. And then we thought about it. We decided that digital gold would be better than gold. If we could get all the benefits of a non-sovereign store of value, bearer instrument that's hard money, and if we could combine it with all the benefits of Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon, a big tech global dominant network, putting the idea of technology investing with the idea of hard money investing together in the year 2024, it struck us as being a reasonable strategy. And at the time, it was really the only reasonable strategy. We're either going to give the money back to the shareholders, and that's a fast death. Give the money back, decapitalize, have no assets, right? Once you lose your financial capital, you're going to lose your human capital. Because if you have no money on the balance sheet, and if your business has no volatility, the options have no value, stock options have no value, you can't overpay the employees, you don't have the cash. And so you're probably going to lose the employees, and then 3 to 6 years later, the product's not going to be competitive. So the fast death wasn't all that appealing. If you're going to do that, you might as well just sell the company. The slow death is sit on $600 million in cash, which, we could run at an operating loss for 20 years with that much cash, but you're just waiting to die, right? It's like you're not going to beat Microsoft and Amazon and Facebook and Google. That's like holing up in your citadel while that army's outside. They're just going to starve you to death. And okay, I've got 7 years of food in my citadel, but while I'm sitting here and for 7 years, they're going to burn all my fields, dam my water supply and take over the rest of the world. And when I come out in 7 years, people will have forgotten me. So that's no good. So the last thing is you ride out of the citadel, you take a risk, pick sides, join the fray, take a decision. And at the time, the obvious team to join was Team Bitcoin. The obvious movement was the crypto movement, and there was a lot of risk, but the alternative was just either a slow or fast death.
Bitcoin has achieved records this year thanks to two catalysts: January's spot ETF approval and the recent halving event. The red-hot crypto was up more than 60% year-to-date on Friday, trading about 6% off all-time highs reached in March. While both drivers are expected to keep pushing Bitcoin's price higher, they're now in the rear view, and investors are wondering where to look for more upside. According to analysts, there are plenty of ways Bitcoin's price could continue to climb. Detailed below are 4 upcoming catalysts. 1. Interest rate cuts. Investors are focused on the Federal Reserve's outlook for rate cuts, in anticipation that stocks could rally as a result. The same dynamic holds true for Bitcoin, which is traded like a speculative asset that appreciates when borrowing costs are lower. In fact, 2021's ultra-low interest rates were largely what pushed Bitcoin to a record that year. The rally then reversed when the Fed started its monetary tightening campaign. In the first quarter, we had the halving coming in, but mostly we had this huge adoption of the ETF. So as that gets priced in, now you're looking for what the Fed can do. Galaxy CEO Mike Novogratz told Bloomberg earlier this month. Until short-term interest rates do decline, Bitcoin will likely keep to a range of $55,000 to $73,000, he said. 2. Shifting regulation. At this point, the crypto community is also looking for coherence on the regulatory front, which has proven itself to be a frequent obstacle for Bitcoin. For instance, the eventual approval of spot ETF by the Securities and Exchange Commission was preceded by a loss in court. But legal sentiment around crypto seems to be adjusting. One future Bitcoin catalyst could be the looming stablecoin bill. Oppenheimer Executive Director Owen Law told CNBC in early May. It could come as soon as this year. Meanwhile, the U.S. House of Representatives just passed a wide-sweeping regulatory framework for the crypto industry, which is being hailed as a win for the sector. Though its fate is unclear in the Senate, this would offer the cryptosphere clearer rule.
I'm not surprised, and I'm not disappointed with what we've achieved in 4 years. I mean, I think there has been a sentiment shift throughout the Bitcoin community to look further in the future. I think there has been a positive sentiment shift in media, in the financial, television networks. It used to be people lamented nobody talked about Bitcoin, or they talked it as scammy. And I think we legitimized Bitcoin as an asset class with CNBC and Bloomberg and Fox. And I think a lot of private companies, got very heavily involved. I get letters from people that are private investors, and also everywhere I go, I meet somebody that says, "Oh, I watched one of your videos, and I finally got Bitcoin, and I started buying heavily." So a lot of private investors, a lot of families, a lot of private companies, and like my first podcast with Pomp, he always had this question. At the end of the day, he'd ask a question. He goes, and I watched his previous podcasts, and I noticed he always says, "So do you have a question for me?" And I looked at that, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to have a question for him. Yeah, I mean, I messaged a lot of people the day we bought $250 million of Bitcoin, and like half of the OGs ignored me.
Yeah.
But I'm on Pomp's podcast. He says, "You have a question for me?" And I said, yeah, I noticed Jack Dorsey likes Bitcoin. He tweets about it. He seems to really appreciate the value of it. He runs a publicly traded company, Square. Do you want to join forces with me? Let's go ask Jack if he'll buy some Bitcoin. And Pomp goes, that's kind of interesting. And then a few weeks go by, maybe a month go by, and Square announced that they bought Bitcoin.
Yep, I remember.
And that was a game changer. I thought, at the point they did that, I thought, we're good now. We're going to win.
3. November's election. But real regulatory clarity will come after the presidential election, Novogratz said. He noted that Republican candidate Donald Trump has been a growing voice of support for the industry, in contrast to President Biden's policies. In May note, Standard Chartered's Jeff Kendrick also said that a Trump victory would be broad positive for Bitcoin. He added that increased worry around the U.S. deficit and debt trends will also likely boost Bitcoin, as investors will start seeking alternative investments. This could happen under both candidates, as neither has offered a plan on how to tackle government spending, Kendrick said. 4. Expanded use. While outlooks on Bitcoin are changing, the cryptocurrency itself is undergoing a remake of sorts. According to Bloomberg, developers have been hard at work to add functionality to the Bitcoin network. These efforts look to make the crypto more than just a speculative asset to hold and, with projects quickly coming online, could offer another catalyst. For instance, the recently released Ordinals protocol allows users to store more than just Bitcoin on the BTC blockchain, but start trading assets such as non-fungible tokens. Already, the Ordinals market saw daily trading volume reach $3.42 million in mid-May. Bigot Managing Director Gracie Chen wrote on X, "The advent of Ordinals on Bitcoin in 2023, the subsequently created BRC20 token standard, and now the Runes token standard have helped drive interest in thinking of Bitcoin as a platform network, not just a monetary network," Galaxy wrote in a note. And now, such projects are attracting considerable attention from venture investors, it said. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Saylor. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.